Everybody, it's Cassie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have two journals to flip through with you guys. These are my last two remaining Blue French journals. All the others were either spoken for as part of my Patreon mail for this month or were pre-purchased, which is not something that I normally do except when someone from my Patreon asks me to purchase ahead of time. I try to always accommodate them. So yeah, these are the last two that are left, and hopefully you guys like them. They are both Cahier size, so 8 1/4 by 5, 8 1/4 by 5, and they have about the same number of pages. This one has been embellished and filled with ephemera, and then this one has not. So this one is fairly naked, unembellished, with the exception of a few collage pieces and some gold leafing here on the cover. So yeah, let's jump right in. I'm gonna flip through the embellished journal first. Oh, one last thing, these will be available in my Etsy shop during my Etsy shop update on Friday this week, so August 27th, I want to say is the date. I'll post the exact day and time in the description box of the video, but at 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I'll be posting these two available for sale. Okay. So the embellished journal is just held closed with a little bit of vintage lace, and then I've just clipped on, it's with a safety pin. There's this cute little blue gemstone that I found, and it's vintage. The ring tag is not, but this little gemstone is, and it is so precious. So wanted to include that in the journal. I've done a really collaged cover on this one. Just some stripes of fabric here and there, and then a big ruffle across the front, both in the top and down here. And then this is a piece of vintage doily that I've cut up and actually split between many of the covers of this journal series collection. Call it a collection. On the inside cover, I used this vintage French playing card to create a tuck spot, and then I've made this envelope and just tucked in a few little pieces for the new owner to use. There's both vintage and new pieces inside the envelope. A note about the inside of these journals, aside from the front cover and any pattern papers that you see, except for this one, even this one, they are completely French papers. So papers that I have gathered that were listed as French papers, or yeah, like I found them as French papers, and 99% of them are vintage. So I've got like vintage encyclopedia papers and vintage receipt papers, and yeah, so it's just a really beautiful journal paper wise, and I just really wanted to showcase and honor the papers inside this journal. Okay, so I had this sweet picture of this little girl, and I believe she's holding like a bunny or a puppy or something, maybe a gerbil. Anyway, it's really tattered, so I just backed it up with a piece of pattern paper and used some of my gold photo corners, but I just loved it so much, and I thought it fit so perfectly with this journal, so I just clipped it to the front page here. I did do these pasted in tabs and ribbon or ruffles this time, because I like the effect of like the additional little collaged piece on each of the pages that they're attached to. Plus I didn't feel right stitching directly onto vintage French paper. I know it's perfectly fine and it would hold up to it, but I would hate to damage it just from doing that, so I didn't take that risk. I love this receipt. This receipt is actually one that I had digitized and added to my Etsy shop as part of my French receipt papers digital. And then I've collaged on some gold doily detail there, and then this was a stamped image on a French book page. So just some collage work there. And this, just a little vintage photo of a woman on a horse. And then on this side, again, I didn't want to put an eyelet through the page, and so I attached it to a piece of vintage wallpaper. And so you just have this little flip out slide, and it's a boy playing on the beach. So I don't know if you can see that in the video, but he's pretty cute. And then there's just this little, I think it's a digital, a butterfly, and just some more of that gold doily detail there. I wanted to include a lot of gold detailing, and that was inspired by this French telegram here. So I just thought this was so beautiful, and so I wanted to kind of mirror that gold and just really romantic feel throughout the whole journal. And then this is an antique postcard that was actually glued down to a scrapbook, unfortunately. And then this piece, so I created this pocket. This pattern paper came from Sarah, Crafty Paper Bits. So it's from France. And then this is just a letter, and it has like a textile sample on it. I was telling her that I really wish that I knew more French, so that I could read the papers that I'm using in my journals. Yeah, so it's like a goal of mine to know French. And then this page. I used a lot of longer threads, like didn't trim everything down as closely. French dictionary page, and then I've got a little flashcard here, and then just some tickets here. These are like carbonless paper, I think, so if you wrote on them, it would transfer to the back copy. Just some collaging. And then I use this really old rhinestone like button, I think, but it's just really beautiful, so I pinned it onto that. And then this is actually a little pocket here, and then I made this little collage tag using Ruby and Pearl's wallpaper digital. And then this flips open. I didn't want to lose either side, so I left it loose. This is a piece of vintage wallpaper that was left over from another piece that I made for this journal, and then just a little handwritten piece in French. And I love this, of the bedspreads. Love the little drawing detail. I think it's so cute. And it's like a little tiny pocket at the bottom. And this page is very light, lightweight. Not fragile, just very light. Same with this one. So I didn't do anything to those two. This is from a French fashion magazine. This is ledger paper. Again, really lightweight. A lot of the pages in this journal are very lightweight, not heavy. little strip there and a stamping. And then I made this little card, journaling card, so you can journal on the back. Out of a Project Life card, actually. And then this was a scrap from the centerfold that was just left over when I cut it off. Just added a little sticker. I think that's super cute. And again, with the horses. I don't know why I like horses so much right now. And then I did use wallpaper to create this ruffle here. And then just an altered envelope. This was actually from Paris. And it's open, but not, like there's nothing in it. So new owner can use that. It's just a floating pocket at this point. This is the centerfold that everyone just loved on my Instagram. And I actually really like the back sides of these pages too. I think that's so sweet. And then just a little image of some roses. A vintage French postcard, unused. And then this is a French document with a stamp dated September 26th and 30th, 1923. Just really beautiful. So beautiful. And then, of course, there's a pocket on this side. And I just tucked this over the page. And this is another floating pocket that I made using two paper bags. So this side has a pocket here and a pocket here, and then this side has a pocket there, and then the large pocket that I've just used a scrap from lining the cover, either of this journal or a different journal. Yeah, this journal. And then just this vintage French tag here. There's actually two pockets. And then this paper, this handmade paper is from Heather. And I'll link her shop and Heather, Ruby and Pearl's shop in the description of the video in case you guys want to pick up either the handmade paper or the wallpaper digitals. But I'm sure most of you are aware of their shops. I'll link them nonetheless. And then on this side, I've just clipped on another vintage photo. And then there's a pocket there. I just love this couple. And I've just clipped in. It's very rare for me to not actually craft a label into something else, but I just love these labels so much. So I did nothing with it. It's just a raw piece of supply in this journal. And then another little Project Life card that you can use. I just thought they were precious together. And then on this side, made a big vintage wallpaper tag using more of Heather's paper, and then the big wallpaper piece, and then another piece of that gold doily, another little photo corner. And then on the back there is actually a pocket. I love this tag. This may be one of my favorite tags that I've ever made. And then, of course, there's a pocket here. And then I just collaged a little bit on this. This is a scrap of French dictionary page. And here is another vintage French postcard. lots of journaling space on this. I just did a little bit of embellishing on the bottom with some more gold leafing and a rub-on. This is your pop of color for this journal. And then here's another little piece from a fashion magazine. That was an offcut from something else that I made, but I love this cushion, so I wanted to include that. And then just this little playing card, and yeah, this one is a natural playing card. And then these are, this is in French, like a little memo sheet, and then this is a piece of embroidery pattern from 1923. This is a very prized possession of mine, and it was very, very hard to cut up. But I included a piece of that in my embellished journals. And if the new owner of this journal chooses the embellished option, I'll include a piece of that in this journal too. More journaling space. And that is it for this journal. So, I'm actually going to include that little blue tag in this journal too. Love this journal so much. It was such a pleasure to make, and I hope that whoever ends up with it enjoys it just as much as I did making it. And then this one is the last one that it's not embellished at all. It does have tabs and ruffles and some minor like collaging and just gold leafing here and there, mostly on the cover. So I did a cover flap on this one because the cover is a little bit more plain than the others. So there's like a big ruffle across the top and the middle section, which actually, let's see about this tag. I'll show you guys all my tuck spots with it. It actually has a little pocket here that I made with some handmade paper from Heather, and then of course another one here and there. So it's actually a double pocket cover flap here, and I did some gold leafing on the back side as well. And then inside I've created this little tuck spot there with the vintage playing card. This one will be much faster because there's not as much to show. Use this French telegram instead of the other one. I love that stamping there. So this is collaged on, but all these red marks were original to this paper. And then another pocket there. This receipt paper was quite fragile, and so I've just reinforced it with a bit of brown packing tape and then some washi here at the bottom. It's all been stitched and should be secure. I did do some stamping there. So like I said, some minor embellishing and just reinforcing here and there. But otherwise, it is fairly naked. I love this. It's from a flower catalog. Beautiful papers. And this is from a pattern. And this is a French document here. And then this is from a fashion magazine. And I just love this rose. And then this beautiful image, and I just love how this layered look ended up being. And this side actually flips out as well. It's really long. And then this side of the receipt or dictionary page flips open. I love how the type is actually kind of raised. It's just really beautiful paper. And a pocket here, and a pocket there. Yeah. And that's it. So this one is much simpler. Again, it's not embellished. So if the buyer would like to have it embellished, that will be an option on the Etsy listing. If you accidentally purchase an embellished and decide you do want it embellished, I can invoice you for the difference. It's not a problem. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you are all having a very, very beautiful day, and I will see you in my next video.